All right, we're here for the conclusion. Let's talk about the deck itself. So this ad nauseam deck fills a very odd space in modern. You know, a lot of people when you say modern in reference to Magic, first thing that's going to pop in their head is speed. You know, you're going to be playing against all sorts of decks that can kill you pretty quickly. Combo decks that try to ignore the opponent, or they have a small amount of like discard to disrupt the opponent. And they're not really in the business of giving your opponent enough time to find the pieces to the puzzle of whatever they're trying to assemble. This deck, on the other hand, it's like a rock. Like it's gonna get there if you give them enough time. Obviously, my inexperience with the deck put me in a couple of situations where I made mistakes, not only with sideboarding, but even the spot where I chose to cast my value ad nauseam against the Fairies deck when he was tapped out. I put myself under an undue amount of pressure just from the Mutavault and the Spellstar sprite he had in play. We can't always hope to just hit the nuts on the first ad nauseam, so we kind of just got to fight. And the cards that you're going to draw off of it aren't necessarily going to be better than just waiting and trying to find, a Pact of Negation or Peer Through Depths or Mystical Teachings to find the Pact of Negation to protect your combo. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it. We made some mistakes. I'm not sure that the Desperate Ritual is necessary. The cards I want to cut are the Desperate Ritual and the Mystical Teachings, and I kind of just want to put another Peer Through Depths, another Pintad Prism. The fourth Pact of Negation over the Slaughter Pact, maybe. I think the Slaughter Pact is only necessary if you are playing the main deck Mystical Teachings. I think in that regard, we can just kind of ignore creatures, and this gives us a little more speed. The Desperate Ritual does feel like it's a little worse than the Pintad Prism, from my perspective anyway. I could be wrong on that. You might need it in more spots than I thought. It does kind of act like a 5th Simian Spirit Guide, which you may need if you end up having to use 2 Simian Spirit Guides early, and you're like 1 mana short of being able to combo out through all that. But for the most part, these are the 3 cards I want to cut. Just makes the deck list look a lot cleaner. The third Phyrexian Unlife is also kind of on the chopping block. I don't know over what for. Maybe we leave the Desperate Ritual and cut the Unlife. The third one seems unnecessary. We have 4 copies of Angel's Grace, 4 copies of Ad Nauseam, but we have 6 kind of versions of one half of the combo, and only 4 of the other. So our Peer Through Depths and such are going to be way more focused on trying to find Ad Nauseam over the Angel's Grace, but I think 6 is enough, personally. It's possible that the main deck Slaughter Pact is worth having just because sometimes you'll play against Kiki Court or whatever, and they'll just kill you if you don't have the ability to find the Slaughter Pact. But I'm willing to take that chance. There aren't enough creatures in main decks in Modern where you actually need... Oh, that was weird. How do I just have a 5th Slaughter Pact now? Or 5th Pact of Negation? I think we're just bugging out over here. That's Magic Online. Anyway, that's weird. There's only supposed to be 4. This is non-existent, I don't believe, so. I don't know what's going on. Alright, whatever. Weird. Yeah, so this is the deck. This is kind of what I would like to change. The sideboard, I didn't feel like I got a lot of use out of. The Leyline Sanctities, I think, are good. We have all these weird one-ofs that can kind of answer things that your opponent could throw at you. We have like the one Echoing Truth, the one Hercule's Recall, the one Disenchant. The only things that I think are completely necessary are the one Slaughter Pact, and I would kind of like to see 1 copy of Teleria West in the main deck. Being able to tutor for that is pretty sweet. I don't know. Plus, you can just go get Lotus Bloom with it, which is kind of cool if you think you're going to need the mana later on. But yeah, the Timely Reinforcements didn't seem like, obviously we didn't play against Burn, but I don't think 1 copy of Timely is going to buy you enough time. Or it's going to be hard to find in order to give you enough time. I think I would much rather just have Leyline of Sanctity as a way to, stifle a lot of the burn spells. They may actually bring in Destructive Reverie against you because you have Pintad Prism and Unlife, so maybe you don't want that many. You could have some copies of Dispel. I wouldn't mind that. Just more ways to fight against counter spells, or you know, instant speed cards that would interact with you. I would also like to see some copies of Surgical Extraction or even something like Grafdigger's Cage. You know, I don't think these Darknesses are all that necessary. And like I said, you have too many of these one-ofs that just kind of deal with stuff. You know, I don't think you want a Hercule's Recall and a Disenchant. You know, even though Hercule's Recall is okay against Affinity, you know, I just don't think it's quite good enough. There's only a few cards, like I said, that are absolutely necessary, and I think those are Lab Maniac and Ley Lab Sanctity. Everything else is kind of just up in the air. You know, if you want to have more dedicated cards to interact with, you know, certain combo decks, I would much prefer having access to some amount of Graveyard Hate, just because Dredge is still a thing, even though Grave Troll got banned. But also, you know, you just can't beat most graveyard-based decks because they're just faster than you. So yeah, some number maybe of like Grafdigger's Cage, maybe some discard. You know, I kind of wanted like some Duresses or something in case I'm playing against Grixis Control or that Fairies deck. You know, just any deck that's going to be sitting on counter spells. I want like some number of something like Dispel or you know, aggressive hand disruption like Duress or even Thoughtseize. So yeah, that's basically all I got for the deck. The mana base felt fine. Maybe one too many Temples. Just come in and play tapped sometimes on the wrong turn. When you need to draw an untapped land is bad. When you're playing Peer Through Depths and you know you get to have that one window where you need to draw an untapped land, cast Peer Through Depths, find Ad Nauseam or the Angel's Grace, and then you still have enough mana to combo off. Yeah, I think maybe having one more fetch land in the deck. You know, we have a couple of shock lands, but only 4 fetch land or 3 fetch lands, so we could probably get away with like a second Flooded Strand. I did want to fetch up the plains a decent amount. So yeah, that's basically all I got. This is gonna be the end of the first Magic Online video I've made in quite some time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, if there's a different type of format you'd like me to play. We're gonna be playing Modern for the next couple of weeks, I believe. I may have a Death Shadow video later in the week for you guys. Keep an eye out for that, I guess. But anyway, that's all for me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.